So, what if I told you that one of the biggest pieces of financial advice you've ever heard, paying off your home as fast as you can, is actually a huge financial mistake? Today, we're going to challenge that idea, that sacred cow of personal finance, and look at your biggest asset in a totally different way. Now, that's a pretty bold claim, right? It basically suggests that the path everyone thinks is the safe one might actually be a trap. So, if paying off your home isn't the real goal, then what is? And maybe more importantly, how do you actually win? To figure this out, we have to look at the problem from a completely different angle. Instead of asking a simple yes or no question, we need to ask a much better question, one that unlocks a whole new framework for building real wealth. This is it. This is the question that almost every single homeowner asks themselves. You get a little extra money, a bonus from work, and the first thought is, hey, should I throw this at the mortgage? And on the surface, it feels like the most responsible adult thing you could possibly do. But here's the thing. This kind of thinking is a trap. Seeing it as a simple yes or no really limits your options, especially when we're talking about money. The real magic, the path to building serious wealth, is always found in the details, in the nuance. They say the quality of your life really depends on the quality of the questions you ask. So instead of asking, should I pay it off? A much, much more powerful question is, why do I even want to pay it off in the first place? And when you dig into that why, the answers almost always fall into one of these three buckets. People want to pay off their mortgage for that feeling of security, for better monthly cash flow, or to build up their equity. So let's take these one by one and really break them down. All right, let's get into it. We're going to dig into each one of these motivations, security, cash flow, and equity, and see if paying down your mortgage is actually the best way to get what you're after. Okay, first up, security. This is the big one, the emotional one for most of us. It's that dream that once the mortgage is gone, you're finally free. But what if that feeling is just an illusion? To really get this, you have to think about what you actually pay every month to live in your house. We obsess over the mortgage, but you've also got property taxes. You've got homeowner's insurance, utilities, and of course, maintenance, because things are always breaking, right? So let's say you do it. You have the party, you burn the mortgage papers, fantastic. But look what's left. You still have these 4 other payments, month in and month out, forever. That idea of being completely free from housing costs, it's not quite the reality. And this realization completely pivots the conversation. It moves us away from just security and into the world of cash flow. Since you're always going to have payments, the real goal isn't just to get rid of one of them, but to generate enough cash flow to cover all of them easily. Okay, so let's run some numbers. Let's play a little game. Imagine you find an extra $365 a month in your budget. Option A is the traditional route. You put it straight towards your mortgage. But option B, you take that exact same money and you invest it somewhere else. Let's see how these two paths look over time. Let's break this down, because this is where it gets interesting. With option A, paying down that mortgage gives you a guaranteed return of, say, 4.9%. That's just the interest you're saving. Now, for option B, let's imagine an investment that returns about 10.75% a year. Now, after 20 years, the money that investment is kicking off could be enough to cover your mortgage payment all by itself. But this is where the power of compounding just gets absolutely wild. Fast forward 40 years. Option A, you've a paid-off house. Great. Option B, you could have a life-changing income stream. Yeah, you are seeing that right. $67,000 a month. That is the potential power of putting that $365 to work instead of just trapping it inside the walls of your house. It is a jaw-dropping example of the opportunity cost of playing it safe. And this brings us right to our third why, equity. Look, building equity is good, but when you pay extra on your mortgage, you're making that money immobile. It's stuck. It's locked up. You can't use it to jump on other better opportunities. Your money is essentially trapped in a financial black hole. I mean, just look at this comparison. It makes it so clear. Paying down your mortgage gets you a 4.9% return. The S&P 500 has historically done better than that, and other assets have the potential for even more. The point isn't that you have to be some high-risk investor. The point is to simply recognize that your money could be working so much harder for you somewhere else. You have better options. So what does this all mean? What are we supposed to do with this information? It means we need to change our entire mindset. We have to stop just following the default path that everyone else takes and start intentionally engineering the financial outcome we actually want. There's this philosophy called build or be built, and it's simple. You either take control and design the financial life you want, or you will be built by the system. You'll live a life by default, following a pre-programmed track. Get a job, buy a house, pay it off, and hope you have just enough to get by in retirement. And you have to understand that default path is based on really outdated rules. Back in the day, before the 1970s, the system was different. Saving your money in a bank actually made sense. But today, we live in a world fueled by debt and inflation, where the value of your savings is getting eaten away every single year. The old playbook is broken. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. All that old advice, pay off all your debt, play it safe, it's designed to keep you from losing. It's all defense. But in the world we live in today, just playing defense is not enough to actually win the game of financial freedom.
So ultimately, this all comes back to you. There isn't one right answer for everybody because it all depends on your personal goals. What is it that you actually want to achieve with your money in your life?
So the final question, the most important question, is this one. What game are you actually playing? Are you playing just to feel secure? Are you playing for massive cash flow? Or are you playing for maximum growth? Because only when you define the game you're in can you actually design a strategy to win it, instead of just defaulting to a plan that was built for somebody else in a totally different time.